Good morning, everyone. I'm looking for a good entry. I have enough funds for one good entry. And here are the ones that I'm looking at this point: SRF, BEL, RVNL, PFC. These seem to be some of the best ones so far, but I have not finalized yet. So let me get a little bit closer and explain to you what I'm looking at. First of all, the SRF. Okay, first of all, the SRF. If you look at SRF, I've drawn a trend line. That is this orange line here. I've drawn that line because I realized that at that line, the price is facing resistance, unable to go up. You see that? Also, I noticed this support resistance line, where in the past as well, that area was an area of support, very strong support, multiple times. So once that, so it seems like this stock has bounced off of that support, and also it has, it is making an attempt to cross this trend line. You notice the wick on top of this candle, the last one. That wick shows that this trend line is acting as a resistance. So I won't enter today, but what I'll do is I'll wait for tomorrow and see if it crosses over still. Okay, that's what I'm looking at right now for SRF. Okay, now here's another one, BEL, the second one I told you about. And with BEL, there is a bounce off of this trend line or this resistance here. You see this? So this has been a resistance right there, and it's bouncing off of that. But also, I've drawn this trend line where I've noticed that this line and this area multiple times, see, this area has acted as resistance, not allowing the price to go further up. Now finally, it has crossed over yesterday with a nice strong green candle. Today, another green candle. So this might be a good entry. Maybe this afternoon, maybe 3 o'clock. This will pull back a little bit further and I might buy, or I might wait until tomorrow and see if there'll be a red candle, because sometimes what happens is when there's a breakout, second day there'll be a red retest candle coming back down to make sure that this line has become support, and then the next day, the following day, there'll be a reconfirmation. And that's how we look at this. Next one is RVNL. Okay, RVNL also. See this line right here? It's a support. There's a resistance at one point. Now that resistance has become support, and it's taking off from there. So, and as along with that, the second factor. So one is this support resistance line, and the second factor is this trend line that I've drawn. If you notice, that trend line seems to be a strong area of resistance where this price is not allowed to go up. Again and again, it's facing resistance. Now today, finally, the trend line has broken through. So I want to wait and see what happens tomorrow if there's a red candle coming down. And then the following day after that, maybe Friday, there should be a green candle going up. These are some of the factors I'm looking at. PFC, something very similar. Here it is, see? So there has been this resistance, support level, resistance level that's been finally crossed, and this this trend line is also crossed. And today we're getting a red candle. So if tomorrow is a green candle for PFC going back up, and I'm looking at that as a possible entry. So for right now, only one entry, but tomorrow or the day after, by the 31st, I'll be selling at least one or two of my positions, and then these would be my options for entry, unless others come up that are even better. SRF, BEL, RVNL, PFC. Others that I'm looking at is still not worked out that good yet, but FACT also looks like this area of support is being respected, and so I want to see if the 20 will be crossed, the 20 period moving average, which is the blue. This one also looks like a good possibility, and I want to see what happens. Looking for a 12% gain up to the all-time high. if that works out. CDSL, something similar is happening there. KEI, see, the 200 was not respected, but now there's a green right there. So what does it mean? Let's see if it pushes up and crosses the 200, then I may be interested. But the 200 should be crossed further up. And here another one. See where there's this support right here? Initially this was an area of resistance, you notice that, and then support, 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 and maybe this also is acting as a support. This might be another possibility, giving us more than 20% or about 20% gain right there. MASDOC is another one that I was observing, and here was this trend line that seemed very strong, but I'm also observing this area as a support. Although I didn't draw the line, that area seems to be a support. The trend line was crossed, but then it kind of got messed up here, and I'm still observing and seeing what happens. LIC Housing Finance has crossed the trend line, but I want to wait until the 200 is the black 200 period moving average line is also crossed. So these are the things that I'm looking at, and those are the ones on the top that I'm considering for entries. As soon as my holdings are sold one by one, I will enter one by one as well. Hope this benefits you, and if you have questions, yeah, let me know. Have a good day.